Crime is everywhere in Grand Theft Auto. I mean, it's quite literally even in the name. And given that we have committed countless crimes in numerous different cities over the last 28 years, it's clear that the world of Grand Theft Auto is not a safe place. But that had me wondering that if you were to take a city like Los Santos, for example, and compare it with a real-life city in the US known for being overly dangerous, like Chicago, which of them is actually more dangerous? Is Los Santos actually as crime-ridden and deadly as the game makes it out to be, or would it even crack the top 50 most dangerous cities in America? And trust me, this answer is not as straightforward as I might have hoped. So we are going to figure out what the crime rates are for Los Santos, compare it with some other cities, and finally answer whether Los Santos is the most dangerous city across the entirety of the United States. In the overarching world of Grand Theft Auto, it is highly debated about which city is actually the most dangerous. Liberty City is definitely up there with its shotgun-wielding mobs in GTA 3 and stuff way worse once we get to GTA 4 that I won't even get into, but we will save that city for another video, since I think most people nowadays are more familiar with Los Santos anyway. And just so we are clear, we are comparing the single-player Los Santos, not the online version, because I don't even think literal war zones could even compare to the war crimes committed every day in GTA Online. And you might be wondering as to why I'm comparing it to Chicago instead of LA, which it's based on, and that's because even though LA does have some pretty insane crime rates, as an uncultured Canadian who loves drill music, when I think of dangerous cities in America, my immediate thought is Chicago, especially in the year 2013 when GTA 5 is based. Today, in 2025, Chicago only ranks as the 22nd most dangerous city, so I actually thought it would serve as a pretty good baseline. But while both Los Santos and Chicago are notorious for being crime-ridden, the numbers of how they compare were definitely not what I expected. But first, I gotta explain how I even found them. But while we're on the topic of crimes, why not go commit some virtually in today's sponsor, Grand RP. Grand RP genuinely has like one of the best free roleplay servers for GTA 5. They have tons of great cars, great clothing customization, and even have a fully fledged out faction system. And the best part is signing up is both super simple and free. Head to the link in the description, sign up on the website, create your character, choose a server, and you're good to go. Also, by signing up on the website, they will give you a free car that you don't have to steal to get. And to any returning players out there, you will also get a free car just for coming back to the game. You can use either the link in the description or the pinned comment to sign up for free today and get a bunch of bonuses when you sign up. My first step to trying to figure out how the Los Santos crime rate stacks up to other cities was, well, figuring out the crime rate. And I had a few ideas for how I was going to do this. The first plan was to literally just drive around and see if I could find anyone committing any crimes. I came across a couple of the ATM robberies the game wants you to intervene in and a car crash here and there, but it's kind of hard when there could be crime being committed in the Vinewood Hills, but I'm driving around in La Puerta, so I knew this might not be the best way. However, while doing this, I did find something rather interesting. When driving, I did come across some cops who were in pursuit of another civilian, and I actually witnessed the cops get into a few shootouts. But I found it hilarious that while following these cops, they actually committed more violent crimes than just about any other civilian that I had witnessed. Bro is hauling ass. Oh, hit and run! Add that to the tally. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, smart for that guy to get out of the way. Oh my god. Bro. What the fuck? Wait, maybe Los Santos is crazy. Oh, wait, this might be the guy. Oh, no, never mind. Just hit his car and peels off, doesn't give a fuck. Oh my god, bro, this guy doesn't give a fuck. His car is literally just smoking. Driving in an unsafe condition as well? Dude. Oh, whoa. Yo, the cop's getting blasted. Oh my god. Yo, low-key, that's what you get for running into like 7 people. not gonna lie. So, for a second, I thought about just waiting at the police station for one of them to get in the car and head to a call, but this ultimately didn't really work. It was kind of random when you would find these cops en route to a call. But I'm not kidding, I literally sat here for like 20 minutes waiting for them to go protect and serve, but they did not do shit. So I had to go to plan B, which is a little more complicated. The plan I came up with was to use every single one of the news articles that frequently get posted to the front page of the iFind website to tally up all the crimes that were reported on throughout the entire story. This works kind of well actually, because obviously not every crime committed both in real life and in-game will be reported on, and there will always be a percentage of crimes that are just completely unknown to the public, so I thought that this was a decently realistic way of getting a tally, even if our protagonists are the ones committing most of these crimes. Spoiler alert, by the way. However, I also needed a time frame for this to be accurate. So if you haven't seen my video on how long the GTA 5 story actually is, don't worry, I won't make you watch it first. But essentially, from the research I did for that video, I found that GTA 5 story takes place over a period of roughly 2 months, so I'm just going to use that as the baseline for the crimes that we will talk about. So now I had the formula. I just had to tally up the amount of crimes and correlate it to the 2 months that it takes for the story, then use that number to find the averages for either a week, month, year, etc. And so, after going through every single article which was conveniently posted on the GTA wiki, the total number of violent crimes throughout our story comes to a staggering total of 46 homicides, 23 armed robberies, gang crime that is on the rise, 2 hit and runs, and 6 cases of aggravated assault. Now, just to make it easier for you later, we will use these numbers to get an average for the whole year, assuming that the crime rates stay consistent, even though we kind of already know they won't because our protagonist did most of these, but just go along with it for the video. That would bring the yearly numbers to 276 homicides, 138 armed robberies, gang crime that's still on the rise, 12 hit and runs, and 36 cases of aggravated assault, for a total number of 498 violent crimes on average a year in the city of Los Santos. Not bad. These numbers might actually seem low to some people, and one of the reasons for that is, again, these are crimes that only took place within Los Santos. So Trevor killing 30 people at the Ultras camp wouldn't have counted towards the tally because, well, it took place on a fucking mountain. Also, admittedly, these numbers might not be 100% accurate since I did have to take some liberty of guessing due to weird word choices by the authors of these posts. Like, for example, in this article by the Daily Rag, Rash of ATM Robberies, they say, and quote, a spate of violent robberies at ATMs across the city. Now, I had no clue what the hell a spate was, so I had to Google it, and it says a large, often overwhelming number. And that did not help me at all. I think because it was referring to robberies, I figured 20 was probably a good number, but that wasn't even the only time that I had to do this. Rockstar just loves using words like several or a few, and I'm almost convinced they do this because they know that some idiot out there is going to try and make a video on figuring out the crime rates of Los Santos.
Wow, no.
But since these numbers are as accurate as I could get, let's now compare them with the home of drill music, the city of Chicago. Luckily, we don't have to get the monthly stats for Chicago since they already give full year stats, so after looking at the census for violent crimes in Chicago, the numbers read like this. So far in 2025, Chicago has faced 393 homicides, 5,538 armed robberies, gang crime that's actually on the decline, so big up Chicago, roughly 102 hit and runs, I couldn't really find an exact number, and 7,124 cases of aggravated assault, for a total number of 13,157 violent crimes across the entire city for a year. So yeah, compared to Chicago, which, reminder, is only the 22nd most dangerous city in the US this year, Los Santos looks like goddamn Iceland with how safe it is. Or at least you'd think, because there is one thing that we have yet to take into account with this information: the population. Chicago has a population of roughly 2.72 million people. So if you were to calculate that number to a per capita instead of pure quantity, it's only 483.71 crimes per 100,000 people, which sounds a lot better. But how would this calculation look for Los Santos? This is where it gets tricky, because the population of Los Santos and the entirety of San Andreas has been highly debated for years now. Some people have made the argument that since it's based on real-life Los Angeles, it most likely has roughly the same population, which is about 4 million people. But when you actually look around at Los Santos, you quickly realize that this number is impossible. I'm going to reference a great video by Commugum, I hope I said that right, but he asked this exact same question and set out to solve it. And since his video actually uses verifiable and logical research, it makes way more sense to me. Long story short, after he counted every single house and apartment within the city, and yes, I mean every single one, he came to the conclusion that only roughly 20,000 people can possibly live within Los Santos. So, just to make it easier, we will use 10,000 as the per capita value, which brings Los Santos violent crimes per capita to a total of 249 per 10,000 people. And now, if we do the same with Chicago, we only get a value of 48.37 violent crimes per 10,000 people. So essentially, sure, with Chicago having a bigger population, it does have more crimes, but that is what you'd expect with more people. But from a per capita standpoint, Los Santos is by far the most dangerous city anywhere in the United States. I mean, if we look at it from a homicide perspective, someone in Los Santos is 28 times more likely to unalive someone than even in Memphis, which is highly regarded as having the highest rates in 2025. Even if we take the per capita rate of overall violent crimes in different cities that also include crimes that we couldn't find solid examples for in GTA 5, like arson or stalking, Los Santos, without these offenses, would still rank as the most dangerous city in America by just under double. And again, this number of crimes for Los Santos doesn't include things that didn't get reported on, like Michael's house being raided in Meltdown, and the amount of people Franklin and Michael had to take out in fresh meat, for example. So to conclude, absolutely, Los Santos is the one place in the United States that you would never want to visit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace!